afternoon. It is Thursday, August 29th. Yeah. And I'm Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal. Still legal today. We always check the status of the legality of the situation because it's a fluid situation at all times in Trump land. I got to start by saying, hey, what's up, Julia? Here we are again. It's like Groundhog Day in the United States. Some lunatic goes and buys a bunch of guns and goes and shoots a bunch of people, and no one will do anything about it. Again, as usual, they'll talk a lot and oh, this is horrible, and prayers and thoughts and prayers and and then nothing. I don't know if you know this, but the people were shot while praying. So I don't think your prayers doing much good. I'm sure those people weren't asking God if they could please get shot at that moment. I'm sure they were praying like everybody else and praying for good things and praying for maybe sick loved ones, or praying for peace in the Middle East, or whatever people pray for. And then get shot while praying. And then what happens? A bunch of people, we're going to pray for you. It's insane. It's a mental illness. To think that your prayers are doing a goddamn thing. What's up, Costello? And again, no one's going to do anything about it. Trump, why don't Trump send the National Guard? That'll stop it. I want to talk about something that, I want to say, I guess we shouldn't just end this topic about the shooting. I don't really want to talk about that much because the reason why he did it is so we'll talk about it. He said in his own, I wouldn't even call it a manifesto. It was more like 7. Just a bunch of crazy notebooks of random thoughts of, hate and self-hatred, and guy hated everybody. Guy hated Mexicans, he hated blacks, he hated Christians, he hated Jews. It's like, who didn't he hate? Well, he didn't mention the Buddhists. I guess no Buddhists pissed him off, but they're already jumping too because he is a trans person. Apparently, his name is Robert, and then he wanted to change his name to Robin. But I don't think he was a trans person. I don't think he knew what he was, because even in his book, he said, I don't want to dress up like a woman all the time, but I definitely don't feel like a man, I think he was a depressed, suppressed gay person, probably. And because of his Catholic upbringing and all of that stuff, very confused about what he was. Like Buffalo Bill, kind of, like Buffalo Bill didn't know what he was. I guess he wanted to be a woman, but he didn't make the full transformation, I don't know what this person was after. As far as that goes. But anyway, they're already doing it. Like, there's been, 55 MAGA white people shooters, and they haven't said one thing about that. Now this one trans person does something, and they're like, we are lock up all trans people. It's a mental illness. These people have horrible, terrible prejudices that they cannot get rid of. It's ingrained in their psyche because they're psychopaths, really. These people are evil. Can you not, let's just make that very clear. Stephen Miller is evil. He's an evil piece of shit. A soulless meatbag of shit. And he's not even pathetic like J.D. Vance is a soulless meatbag of shit who's pathetic because he doesn't have any real principles of his own except for the advancement of himself. So he will transform himself into whatever he thinks that he needs to be to get where he wants to be. Stephen Miller is evil. Stephen Miller knows what he is. He's an angry, bigot, piece of shit who hates people and wants to cause as much chaos and damage to those people as he can. If he could, he'd have them shot. I promise. If you could interview Stephen Miller with some truth serum, like shoot it into him and really ask him what he really thinks, he'd go full Nazi. Because that's what he is. He doesn't even hardly hide it in public now. So, let's make that very clear. He's evil. There is no oh, yeah, I disagree with them politically. No. I mean, yeah, I do disagree with them politically because he's an evil piece of shit. Period. No one's spewed that much hatred and bile and yes, Julius, it's such a sad, preventable epidemic. Common sense gun regulation and banning assault-style military-grade weapons make a huge difference. Yes. Yes, it would. Because it did before. We had an assault ban. I mean, a lot of people don't remember that. We had an assault weapons ban under Bill Clinton. And when it expired, which I don't know why they wrote it to expire. They should have just said it's banned, and that was the end of the situation. But to get Republicans to vote for it, they had to put a expiration date on it. And of course, when the expiration date came up, the Republicans just refused to fucking put it back in place. Just let it expire. Trump wants to put the bump stocks back. You know what bump stock is? A bump stock is a piece of plastic that you put on the end of your a military assault weapon like AR-15 or whatever. And it has a spring, and I don't even know exactly how it works, but there's like a spring inside of it. So it uses the recoil of your rifle to keep firing. So when you put it on your end of your rifle and you put it on your shoulder, when you start to pull the trigger, it just bounces. And then it'll just keep bouncing and shooting like a machine gun. Which is totally illegal, a machine gun. Machine gun's illegal, but the bump stock, totally fine. They banned the bump stock, and now Trump wants to bring them back. Because these people are insane. The right, my entire life, has been a series of terrible, horrible ideas and policies that they just keep repeating over and over and over because they think that they're good. Despite all the real world evidence that shows that they don't work. It's a mental illness. It's insanity. Pure and simple. Pure and simple. It's crazy. To do the same thing over and over and over and crash the economy over and over and over and still say that trickle-down economics works is insane. It's pure insanity. I don't know what you call it. And the guy was walking around, did the same exact thing over and over and over, got fucked up every time he did it, got up the next day, just kept doing the same thing. You go, that guy's fucking crazy. See? This is why they have to have Cracker Barrel and all this other shit. Because they don't have any real ideas. They don't have, beyond the same recycled bullshit that they've been doing my whole life. They said, like, tax cuts for the rich will make it good for everybody. It's like, has it made it good for everybody? Look around you. It hasn't worked. But we did it with Reagan. We did it with Bush. Did Clinton come in, fix the fucking economy, and then we did it again with Bush Jr. Twice. Let Bush Jr. and them lie and start a fucking war and still voted back in. This country is insane. Or stupid, or both. A dangerous combination. Meanwhile, Trump's peace through strength is really working out as Putin just bombs the fuck out of Ukraine. More than he ever has. It's, oh yeah, we want peace talks, but you shoot 500 missiles at Kyiv, kill a bunch of civilians, blew up a bunch of EU buildings, as as a signal to them. And yet Trump's in the Oval Office, show pictures of him and Vladimir Putin practically holding hands because he loves him so much. He's a good guy. It's like, it's insane. Anyway, did you see that? There was something on online I saw. I don't know if it's true or not, but they were showing a picture of Trump in the Oval Office and all that fucking tacky gold shit he has on the wall. And one of the things that he had on the wall looked like exactly like some plastic thing that you buy at off the internet. I don't know if it was a Temu or something. I don't know. But there was a picture of the thing. It looked exactly like it. It was like, oh, you just buy this thing, spray paint it gold, and put it up on the wall. Which is a total Trump move. That's like, Trump, everything about Trump is fake. Why not his tacky gold, He says, oh, all this stuff is gold, solid gold. It's by plastic. With gold spray paint on it. Somebody should test that out. Somebody should, just a reporter or somebody just walk by, just touch it. Like, is it plastic? Is this plastic? And then ask him about it. Hey, wait a minute. Excuse me, sir. Is this a plastic thing? The spray painted gold on the wall? It's like, no one will do that because the corporate media is, at this point, complicit in what's going on. By continuing to pretend like this is all normal, that he's just a normal president who's not really trying to destroy America as we know it. And establish an autocratic, whatever he's trying to establish. I don't think it's going to happen because, as I said, I'm a secession guy now. I'm pro-secessionist. I'm waiting just one state to say, you know what, fuck this, we're out. There'll be more that follow. They should have carved this country in two when the Civil War happened. Should let them have their fucking, well, I'm glad that they got rid of it. But here's the question. Here's the real question. Theoretically, anyone who's watching, you can comment and answer. I want to hear your answer. Here's the theoretical question. Let's say we did that, right? Let's say we theoretically split the union. We said, you know what, these people are out of control, and if they want to have their fucking, clan land or whatever they want to call it, let them have it, and cut it in half. Here's my question. Would they bring back slavery? Once they had their own country, they could do whatever they want, right? Theoretically. They could bring back the Articles of Confederation from the 1800s. And have slavery. Here's another interesting thing that I've noticed. You ever notice that when you talk about the Civil War and they try to say it wasn't about slavery, it was about states' rights, right? And now Trump is shitting all over states' rights. Have you noticed how their entire philosophies have changed? They used to be small government, libertarian, conservatives, and now they're like big federal government, autocratic, Yeah, see, Julia says, hope I stay succeeds, otherwise I'll move to whichever state does. Yes, they'd bring it back. They're already essentially doing that with immigrants. Yeah, yeah, and they've been doing it with inmates for years in the South. The old chain gang. What? Well, you know, slavery. We just arrest a bunch of black people for some made up bullshit. Put them on a chain gang. Make them work. Wait, it's kind of like slavery. No, it's not. It's punishment for. And I don't know if you've been following this story. This story gets more interesting all the time. The Obregon Garcia saga. They're playing chess with them now. Now what they've done is, well, let's start from the beginning if you know this story. Obregon Garcia had a do not deport to El Salvador court order because he left El Salvador apparently because of gangs and gang trouble. So he feared it. MS-13 or whoever they said they accused him of being part of. And so the court said they can't send him back to El Salvador because his life might be in danger. So when Trump wanted to ship all those people off to CCOT, somehow Obregon Garcia got mixed up in this, and they sent him to El Salvador. And that's what caused the whole thing. They were like, hey, you had a do not deport to El Salvador court order, and you still did it. And then instead of saying, oh, we're sorry, you made a mistake and getting him out of there, they doubled down and then they told a bunch of lies about him. They said, oh, well, he's a vicious gang member and a member of MS-13, and he belongs there, and blah, 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 blah. He's a human trafficker, all these other things, right? And then they brought him back because they had to, eventually. They can only play that game for so long. Then as soon as they brought him back, they trumped up the human traffic charges on him. Oh, he's human trafficking because in 2000 and I don't even remember what year it was. He got pulled over in Tennessee and he had a couple other immigrants in the car with him, and they said that's some kind of proof that he's trafficking people. That's what they say anyway. It wasn't like he had like a truck, with like a refrigerated truck filled with people like they do at the Mexican border, where sometimes they find those trucks and those people are all dead. They're suffocated inside the trailer. Yeah, it's not like he was doing that. It was just a car with him and two other guys that probably landscaped with him or some shit. They said, oh, this proof he's a trafficker. Anyway, so then they went to prisons all over and found 5 people. I think it's 5 people. Criminals, by the way. And they say they care about criminals. But what they did was they took statements from these criminals that got them to say that Obregon Garcia did this and Obregon Garcia did that. And then they let them people out of prison. Real criminals who were in prison. To try to get this guy who's not in prison, who obviously didn't do these things that they say he did. Because that's the only evidence they got. Even the judge was like, this is kind of thin here. Like, it doesn't look like you got much evidence. And the allegations there make it impossible. They're like, oh, he drove 1,000 hours a week and took his kid with him from down to Texas and back up 50 times a week. Anyway, so they don't want this case to go to court because when they go to court, it'll be easily proven, like I said, that they made up these charges, that they're not real. They don't have any evidence against them except their word, and we all know what their word means. Shit. Nothing. That's the other part of it. If people go, oh, you got to respect the government officials, you got to believe them. It's like, what all these people do is lie constantly about everything. All the time. Like the Amtrak train. It's a fast Amtrak train that just came out, right? And Duffy comes out. This trade is only exists because Donald Trump believes in transportation, blah blah. You know, and they're like, it turns out that this train was authorized under Biden. I mean, they lie about every single fucking thing. You can't believe anything they say, ever. And this is their own doing. No one told them to lie constantly. It's just what they do. It's like J.D. Vance with the, oh, they eat cats and dogs. And and now J.D. Vance talks and you go, hey, you know what? Ever since the cats and dogs thing, I don't believe a fucking piece of shit word that comes out of your fucking mouth, okay? So you can just shut the fuck up. Because I'm not listening. I don't care what J.D. Vance has to say about anything. He's a lying sack of shit. And he's proven it himself numerous times. Remember he got mad? You said you were going to fact check. Can't lie my ass off when you fact check it. These are the most dishonest people you've ever seen in your life. And they expect you to trust them. They go to court where the government's word is supposed to be law and bond. And you can't trust what they're saying. They're frame people. Somebody's on the Twitch. I just got a comment. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Anyway. So they can't take the Albrega Garcia to court because it'll be proven that they're lying, basically. So what they did was they blackmailed him and they said, hey, you can either plead guilty to these bullshit charges that we've made up on you, and then we'll send you to Costa Rica. Or, if you don't take this deal and plead guilty to the bullshit charges that we made up on you, we're going to send you to Uganda in Africa. Now, if they're not full of shit, why are they blackmailing the guy? Why are they telling him? Why are they offering him hey, if you take this bullshit plea deal, we'll send you to cushy Costa Rica, where you can probably have your wife and kids sent down there, and you could live a nice life, or we'll send you to Uganda, where you don't know a fucking person, and you're halfway around the world, in one of the poorest countries on earth. Certainly not dangerous in Uganda. That's like... So, they're playing chess now. They said they refiled his asylum claim. He said, I'm not taking the plea deal because I didn't do what you say I did. It's bullshit charges that are made up. And then, and the judge already told Trump and them that they can't deport him until all these hearings are over about his, status and where he's going and why do you want to send him to Uganda and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so his lawyers refiled his asylum claim. That's going to put more gunk into the works, so they got to have an asylum hearing now and all these other things. I don't know if you know this. See, this is the problem. It goes right back to what I was just saying about these are the most dishonest people who've ever been in charge of this country. They're liars. They say they're going after criminals. They're not going after criminals. They're arresting taco vendors and roofers and people at Home Depot parking lots. These aren't criminals. They're not going after criminals. Like, it's less than 10% of the people that they have arrested that are criminals. They're full of shit. Also, at the same time, they're firing all the immigration judges so that there's not enough judges to take these cases, because what they want to do is just round up people and send them off without any hearings and any due process or whatsoever. So, today they said that they're going to hire a bunch of people to do the immigration courts if they don't need any experience whatsoever in immigration law. You know what that means, don't you? Nut lickers. The only qualification to get a job in Donald Trump's administration is that you lick his balls constantly, that you grovel, and you that you're a spineless, I said, sycophant who will do anything that he tells you to do, and you will not question it, and you will not buck back against him. And if you do, you're gonna get fired, like because a bunch of FEMA people said, "Hey, he's destroying FEMA, and when there's a storm or a disaster, people are gonna die." And you know what happened to those people? Fired. Brainworm Bobby is going after vaccines after he said he wouldn't go after vaccines. And the woman that was running the CDC, who was just confirmed by the Senate like a month ago, said, "Hey, we can't do this. This is unbelievable. This is unscientific, and it's quack shit." What happened to her? Fired. All the doctors that worked underneath her resigned with strongly worded letters that, hey, these YouTube fucking crackpot fucks are taking over. The flat earthers and Pizzagate people are taking over the CDC, and anything, they call it the Maha, was it Make America Healthy Again, Maha. Anything that's make America and whatever follows is some dumb fuck shit. Okay? Anything. It's dumb fuck shit. All of it. People are gonna die because Brainworm Bobby watched too many YouTube videos about vaccines. And meanwhile, they done any of the shit they said they were gonna do. They said, we're getting rid of all the vaccines, and we're bringing back the presidential physical fitness test in high school. And everybody's going to be healthy. We live in the dumbest timeline you've ever seen. This is the dumbest country on the fucking planet. And it's going to collapse under the collective weight of all this fucking stupidity. Meanwhile, like I said, the society itself is fraying, falling apart. There's mass shootings everywhere you go. You can't go anywhere without thinking you're going to get shot. The other night was the first night. My dad's always carrying his gun around. The other night I was going to see my friend's band, and I was going over to Cincinnati, and there's been a lot of violence in Cincinnati. And and it was the first time that I was like, you know what? I got a gun. It's legal to carry them. I'm gonna take my gun. I took it with me. Now, I felt weird the whole fucking time. It's like, I mean, nothing happened. I just had my gun on me, but I just felt weird the whole time. I was like, why do I have a gun? Like, what am I doing? And then this shit happens, and you go, well, that's why, you know. That's like, if somebody does start shooting, I'd like to be able to shoot back. Now, do I want to carry a gun? No. I don't. Have I ever done it? No. The other night was the first time. But I tucked my little 380 in the back of my pants, you know, right in the small of my back. I went on about my business. But I felt it there the whole time. And the whole time I felt weird. Like, why I have this gun, you know? It's like, and then, you know, there's both arguments. It's like, well, I don't need this gun. I've never carried this gun ever in my entire life. I've never felt the need to. I never, you know, I'm not coweringly afraid of anything that happens. But on the other side of it, it's like, well, you know, like I said, if somebody does start shooting, I'd like to be able to shoot back. Maybe I'd save somebody. Maybe I'd shoot this guy and kill him before he kills a bunch of other people. But the fact that we live in a country that you have to think about that says everything about this country, doesn't it, really? You know, The fact that it's a possibility. It's not even like, oh, like in France, that thing happened at the Eagles of Death Metal concert where the terrorists broke into the arena and they killed a bunch of people. Um, but that's like a one-off thing in France. They don't people in France, they don't carry the guns around. Everybody's carrying guns around. This country is insane. Everyone has guns. There's more guns than there are people. There's 300 million people in this country, roughly, and there's over 400 million guns. That means there's more guns than there are people. And in most states now, legal to carry. Like I said, you don't even need a permit. In any of the states that I live in, I live in Kentucky. Like you go to Ohio, they all have the same laws. Indiana, it's right over there. They all got the same laws. No carry. It's called constitutional carry. No permit needed. You can carry your gun with you wherever you go if you're a law-abiding, legal gun owner. So everyone's packing, man. I went to a ball game with my dad over here at the college, Northern Kentucky University. I went to a basketball game, and they weren't even searching people. I'm not kidding. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It's like, I told my dad, I was like, dude, I've been working for years in Las Vegas in security. And people got to go through metal detector. And if it goes off, then you wand them. Or if it still keeps going off, then you frisk them. Or you make them take everything out. We search everybody. These motherfuckers just walk right in the door. It's Cary State. You don't know how many guns are in this place. I told my dad, I was like, this is insane. This is crazy. Like anybody could come here and just shoot up the place. Because they weren't even looking for guns. It was like, walk on by. It was like just a couple fucking guards standing at a table, just standing there. You know, people just walking by. I was like, this is crazy. Now, I went to Taft Theater, you had to go through a metal detector, and then your thing went off because there was something in my pocket or whatever, and went off, and the woman wanded me. It was regular, like we would do in Vegas. But over here, it was like, what the fuck? They ain't checked nothing. Pure insanity. Like I said, the fact that you live in a country that you even have to think about this stuff. And like I said, I fell for it. I took the gun. I was in a place where, the neighborhood is questionable. But I've walked through Bedford-Stuyvesant in the 90s, in the middle of the night. I used to live in Clifton. I used to walk through Over the Rhine, which is used to be, it's gentrified now, but it used to be the worst part of Cincinnati. I walked right up there. I went to this club. We open till 4 in the morning, and then you walk up the hill and I lived at the top of the hill. And I walked through that neighborhood hundreds and hundreds of times. I didn't have a gun. I used to carry a knife. So if somebody gets close up on me and want to do some shit, I do have a knife at least. But I've always believed that even if you're well-intentioned, like I have my gun, right? And even if you're just well-intentioned, like carrying your gun, the gun creates a situation where any situation that happens could be escalated higher than it would be if you didn't have that gun. And 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen. Not the hero thing where some mass shooter pops out of nowhere and you happen to have your gun on you and you shoot him. The other 9 times it's going to be some dumb shit where, you get in a fight with somebody or and people get angry and go, oh, I'm going to with him. And bullets start flying. It probably shouldn't. have flown or what didn't need to fly. Having your gun makes it easy to escalate the situation high as you want. Guy pulled a gun out on me at my bar. We caught him stealing equipment. He was in a band, and then at the end of the night, everyone left, and he was like hanging around on the stage, taking the sweet ass time, wrapping up his equipment and shit, and putting it all away. Everybody was gone except for him. And my friend Chris, who ran sound for me, he caught him like he was taking our stuff. He was just taking cords, unplugging stuff that was ours, and just wrapping it up and taking. It was like, hey man, this guy's stealing our stuff. I was like, what? So when I went back there, I was like, what the fuck? And I went through his stuff. I was like, hey, this is mine. This is ours. This is ours. What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. And so threw him out. And he's drunk, of course. And just started closing the bar, like we would normally do. And but there was a bunch of, the whole front was windows. So after about half hour, 45 minutes, look out there, the guy's still out there. He's like, why is he still out there? What the fuck? And by then I had a few drinks, and I was like, hey, what the fuck is he doing? So I go out there, I go across the street, I go, hey, what the fuck are you doing, man? You gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, you can't just be hanging out here in front of the fucking bar. Like, we caught you stealing shit. Get the fuck out. He's like, here it is. Like, what? Hey, man, I said, get in your car and get the fuck out of here. And he fucking had a Blazer, an SUV. So, and the gate was open. He was sitting in the thing. And he turns like this, and he has a gun in there. He pulls it out. And I'm like looking at him. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And this is what I'm talking about. Where the situation escalated where it didn't need to escalate because he had the gun. And he was drunk. And he was like, argh. So I did the thing I always do, which is get fucking crazy. I go, what the fuck are you doing? I start walking towards him. I go, what are you gonna fucking shoot somebody tonight in here? Right in the street? You gonna do that? I was like, well then fucking do it then. And I just fucking put my arms out. I was like, do it. And I started yelling at him, do it, motherfucker. And he started backing up. I go, get in your car and get the fuck out of here before I take that gun away from you and fucking kill you with it. And he goes, and he got in his car and he drove off. While he was driving off, he put it out the window. He shot 2 shots in the air. I don't know why he did that. So I went inside the bar and I called the police right away. I go, hey, this fucking drunk guy pulled a gun on me. And he shot 2 shots up in the air and drove off. They went and found him. He got DUI, I think, and got charged with, I don't know. They never came at me and like asked me if I wanted to press charges on him for whipping his gun out on me. But I think some people, when they were going home, they saw him pulled over on the side of the highway. And he was drunk as fuck, so he got a DUI at least. But anyway, my point being, the guy that worked for me, black guy, was the door guy. He was standing across the street. The guy drove off, and I walked towards the bar. I started going inside. He's just staring at me. He's like, oh man. He's like, you got a death wish or something? I was like, no. I just made a calculated decision that I believed him to be a coward. He wasn't going to use that gun because he's a coward. He wanted to pull that gun because he thought that I would, run away or I would start cowering. That's what, it's a power move. I was like, well, you can't power move me, bro. It's not going to happen. I tell you that right now. It's like the guy today that said, there was some Klan flyers posted online, right? And had all this shit on it. It's like, immigrants, this and that, and this, trans people, this and that. And, people were bitching about it. And then his comment was, yeah, well, I'm sick of all that stuff, too. I was like, really? And I go, well, why don't you join then, you fucking jerk off? And then he goes, well, people shouldn't be afraid to talk about these things. And there's a great awakening coming soon. You better buckle up, he said. And I go, good. I hope so. Because then I can finally curb stomp some of you fucks. Because you don't know how much I want to. All I want is the flag to come up or the whistle to be blown so I can start fucking doing what I want to do, which is fight these motherfuckers. I'm sick of them. I don't know how much you feel about it, but I'm tired of it. You ever seen Apocalypse Now? It's that scene where there's a big battle going on and Robert Duvall's just walking around like bullets are flying around and explosions are happening. He's got a cowboy hat on. He's just walking around with no shirt on. It's like I don't think I'd take my shirt off, but I'm saying that's the kind of guy I am. I don't get fucking rattled. I've been under fire. I've been in bad situations. I've been in, there was a riot at T-Mobile Arena after one of the boxing matches, and somehow they got it on film. And my friend, who's a manager there now, but he was like, "Yeah, I got a film of the thing." It's like, "Well, you didn't run. Like, you stood right there." It's like, yes, I didn't run away. So that's one of my strengths is I got a cool head under fire. Like, I don't get rattled too easily. Like with shit's going on, crazy shit's going on. That's when everything slows down for me. I think about what's going on. I think about what I need to do. And to do whatever I need to do. Like I said, we had to stop this guy for beating this guy with a fucking metal chair. And it's like, I had a partner and turned around, the fucker's gone. A lot of people left. The security guards who were paid to be security guards ran away. Because some people can't handle that kind of chaos. It's like, it was the first time that when I was ever doing security, that I was standing there for a second looking around going, I believe I'm really in danger right now. It's like that. The guy that had the chair, he was a big motherfucker. Way bigger than me. He's about to hit this guy on the floor with a metal chair. So I had to grab his chair, and I'm like, this guy's probably going to turn around and knock me out, But I'm getting paid to be a security guard. I can't just let this guy get killed with a metal chair while I'm standing right here. Especially now I know it would have been on film. Like, look at that guy. He just stood right there in uniform. It was a suit, but still. It was like, a security guard uniform. Just let that guy brain this guy with a metal chair. It's like, I can't do that. I got to do my job, which is to try to intervene somehow. So I grabbed the chair, and I was fully ready to get punched in the face. And then, out of nowhere, one of the assistant managers of the arena just appeared out of nowhere. It's like Superman or something. He was there to back me up. It's like, now there's two of us, okay? It's like, so he's not going to punch me in the face. It's like, thank God. But I fully had already thought about it beforehand. It was like, there's a good chance this guy's going to turn around and knock me out. But he didn't. Because I've always been lucky that way. The guy didn't shoot me. The guy didn't knock me out, It's like, I've always been lucky in situations like that. But I don't know if it's luck or how you handle it, or, the decisions that you make because a lot of people don't understand. The decisions that you make directly affect what happens, and the energy that you put out directly affects what happens in situations like that. If you're cowering in fear, people feel that, they smell that, they're coming after you, The best thing to do in any situation when somebody is coming at you is to project frantic, psychotic energy as strongly as you can and make them fear you. Because then they go, oh no, what did I just do? It's like you fuck with the guy who ain't to be fucked with, you know. I tell people that. I've been telling people that since I was a kid. I'm not violent. I don't like fighting. I definitely don't like getting punched in the face or hurt by other people. So if you come at me, who would never start a fight with anyone, and you start shit with me, you better be ready to take it all the way to the top, because I'll kill you before I let you curb stomp me. I've seen too many people get beat down. You know, I'm not the guy. It's not gonna happen to me. Like, I'll kill you before that happens. When people see that you're serious about that, they back off. Because most people aren't willing to take it that way. It's like Trump. He's a bully. You ever notice this? Trump only bullies people who are scared of him. He isn't trying to bully, you know, now that especially that Gavin Newsom is saying up to him, he ain't trying to bully Gavin Newsom. You don't hear him talk about him too much, do you? He don't say shit about him. He don't say shit about Vladimir Putin. He kisses his ass. He don't say shit about he kisses Kim Jong-un's ass. You know, it's like people who are strong people who are stronger than Trump. Trump's fake. He's fake strong. He talks a lot of shit. When someone stands up to him, he fucking cowers down. You see him, he gets that fucking, his shoulders slumped and shit. He's a pussy. He's only, he likes the power because he has money. So all his life he's had people groveling around him because he has money. And he thinks that makes him powerful, but that doesn't make you powerful. Being powerful is being a strong person. I waited 5 hours once. 5 hours out in the street to tell Mitch McConnell to fuck himself to his face. And I'm so glad I did it. I looked him right in the eye. I said, hey, go fuck yourself, turtle. You fucking... I waited five hours for this. Because he was supposed to come out at like 3 o'clock, but there was so many people outside that he was afraid that he wouldn't come out. And so he stayed inside for another 2 hours. And then those 2 hours, most of the people left. There was some hardcores like me. There was like 10 or 12 of us who waited all the way. It was like, I've been here all day. I'm not leaving now. I came down here to tell him to fuck off. And I'm going to do it. I waited. He came out. I said, hey, Mitch McConnell, come fuck yourself. I swear, fuck Trump t-shirt. So I'm pretty determined when I want to do something. It's like, I've never been. It's like this. I'm still sitting here doing this show. Why? Because I said I'd do it. Once I say I do something, I fucking do it. I don't. That's not gonna quit now. You know? Some of you watch this show regularly now. Like, I'm not. There's not many, but some do. They're like, well, now I feel responsible. I got to put on a show every week, 3 times a week. Now, that might go down as this band starts doing more shit, because we're not playing out yet, but we're writing songs. We got like 3 pretty almost finished songs already, and ideas already for 2 or 3 more. And I just have a feeling, and I feel really good about the stuff we're doing. And I just have a feeling that that's going to start to take up more of my time eventually. But until then, I'm going to keep doing this show because that's what I do. I'm not a quitter. When I say I'm going to do something, I start doing it. And then I just keep doing it until it gets good or it burns itself out. Yes, Julia. She would love to tell Moscow Mitch go fuck himself to success. Well, you can't now. If you talk to him sternly now, he might lock up. He's like, this is before he started locking up. This was early, beginning of the first Trump administration. So what, 2016, 2017, something like that. It's before I moved to Vegas, for sure. There's a lot going on. See, that's the other thing is, you have to be flexible. Life is chaos, and a lot of it you can't control. That's where a lot of people get into trouble. They try and tell themselves that they can control life, and you can't. You can control some of it. You can control how you react to situations. You can control your work ethic. You can control, how strongly you pursue your goals, all that stuff. But the other 90%, that's like 10% of your life, The other 90% is usually some shit that you ain't got nothing to do with. They ain't got no control over you. Like your house catches on fire, or your landlord sells the building and then you get thrown out even though you paid your rent, or like me, like I had set up this life for myself, and my mom's health dictated that I had to come home and take care of my mom, and I'm not going to tell her that I'm not going to do that because I'm a good person. Or, consider myself. I try to be a good person. I don't like when people say it. People, I'm a good person. It's like, all right, even good people do bad things. We've all done things we're not proud of. We've all made mistakes. We all hurt people. When even if you didn't mean to, you still did. Or you were selfish. You didn't think about the other person, and you wound up hurting them somehow. That doesn't make you a bad person. A bad person is like someone like Trump, who intentionally hurts people on purpose, or doesn't care if he hurts people, and only uses people up if they serve him. Once they, that's what I don't understand about all these sycophants. Is you have to know that you're disposable to him. He's shit on so many people, left so many people in his wake, that he just tossed to the curb, or threw him under the bus even. That, why do you think you would be special? I guess they just hope it doesn't happen to them, I guess, But it's like, the guy, like, why are you loyal to a guy who's not loyal to anybody? The only person Trump is loyal to, it seems like, is Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is like the only person that Trump won't say something bad about, or shit on. Hey Mimi, CXX, I am having a good day, thank you. They say that they hope everyone is having a nice day or night. I was hoping that guy that commented on my video a little bit a while ago that said I was a small person doing small things would watch the show for a minute and talk, because I wanted to ask him what he does. Is it? Like I said, like, yeah, I might be a small person doing small things, but at least I'm doing something. Like, what are you doing? I looked at his page, there's 2 followers, no content. It's like he just on YouTube to make trolling comments, I guess. Which is fine, but it's like, people always want to shit on somebody. And it's like, you're not doing anything. See, I've always said that. I just keep doing stuff. It doesn't matter if you succeed, like, to the ultimate succeed. Like, that's the goal, right? But even if you don't get there, at least you're doing what you want to do, and you're trying to do something. I'd rather do that than sit around upstairs on the couch, feeling sorry for myself, or staring at the TV, doing nothing, And so you gotta do something. It's like the music, like I didn't think this was gonna happen. It just kind of happened, like organically. But because I always said I would never be in another band because it's such a pain in the ass. You got to deal with all these fucking jerk offs. But this time it was different. It's very smooth. It was like these guys were like, "Hey, we have a band and we're looking for a vocalist," and I was like, "Oh, I'll come check it out. You know, I'd like to try." They said, "Okay, go there." Jan with them. They was nice. Uh, they said they liked what I was doing and I liked what they were doing, and they were like, "Hey, you should come back next week." I was like, "Okay." We came back next week, jammed a little bit, almost, pretty much wrote a song already, and then anyway, I don't know what happened. Either way. Julian says, "You ever hear about the frogs? People can lick and hallucinate. That's why picture happens as sycophants. Once they give them a rim job, they magically become full blown liars." Yeah, exactly. It's like, what was the truth again? It's like, anyway, like I said, yeah, I know. I just thought that maybe it would be something that I get me out of the house one day a week, and playing music's always fun. I didn't think like, oh, this is gonna turn into a real band. We're gonna do real shit. But once it played 2, 3, 4 times, we started like, okay, we're writing songs now. We got 2, 3 songs. It's like, hey, we could probably write enough songs to play out, by the fall or early winter. And so I asked those guys, I go, well, do you have any goals? Like, are you just jamming in the shed, And they were like, no, we want to play out. And I was like, oh, well, okay, cool. I'm in. Like, and now it's becoming like a serious project. Like, but I didn't think it would be. I thought it was just going to be, it's like, well, like a hobby, I thought, well, get me out of the house once a week. Like, I need to get out of the house. I'll just be, play with these guys, make some music, make some noise. It'd be fun. Get out some fucking, aggression or whatever. And turns out, they said, I really like their music that they do, and they really like the way I don't know if you call it singing. I don't know what you call it. I always say that. I will say this. What I'm doing now is the closest to actually singing I've ever done. And I'm very comfortable all of a sudden. I'm not afraid. I'm like, you know what? At this point in my life, I gotta stop trying to be like, sound like, oh, I'm trying to sound like Weiland, or I'm trying to sound like Lane Staley, or I'm trying to sound like, it's like, you know what? I need to just get rid of all that and just sound like me. Like, am I the greatest singer in the world? Probably not. But I got a lot of attitude. And I do pitch. I mean, I do have pitch. I can't. If I could sing it out of whack, I know that. It's like, I just don't have like Freddie Mercury voice. So over the years, I've just learned how to use my own voice to, like an instrument. Like, I just use my own voice on top of the music, and I try to fit myself into it, like I said, like an instrument. Like, and it's like, oh well, I know that I'm not like an operatic fucking singer. It's like I'm not that great. I can yell. But being a rock singer, I really do. Like I said, I have a lot of attitude. If the band is good, you can fit yourself into it. That's the other part of it. For years and years, I thought that was like, it was holding me back, like trying to think that you had to be, Freddie Mercury or something. You don't have to be. There's lots and lots and lots of rock singers that aren't really good singers. They just figured out their own style, like, and how to fucking, and had attitude. And I said, you gotta have attitude and energy. That's what rock music's all about. It's like, you have attitude, got energy, you can do it. And the truth is, though, I've been listening to a lot of stuff, and I'm like, man, I sound better than I've ever sounded. Like I think that just changing that part of my mindset was like I'm leaning into me. I'm no longer trying to be like, well, I'm gonna sing this part like Wiley, or I'm gonna sing this part like and there's always a part of your brain that's it takes your influences and then you try to copy those things, And the truth is, you got to find your own style. That's in anything you do, I think. You can do anything you want. You just got to figure out how you can do it. And I mean, you got to have a little bit of talent. I mean, like I said, like I've been playing music since I was in second grade. It's not like I don't know anything about music. I know a lot about it. But I've never taken vocal lessons. I've never been in a choir. I've never really sang. I started being a vocalist through hip hop. Started rapping, and then from rapping started playing in like rap rock bands. So you're like then I started throwing in a little bit of singing, and sometimes people would be like, "Hey man, you can actually really sing when you want to," and I'd be like, "Yeah, but I never really try because I'm not confident in it." Well, now I'm 52 years old. I don't give a fuck. It's like I'm confident as you can be. It's like and I'm also like, I want this particular band will probably be the last band I'm ever in, and it should probably represent me as much as anything I've ever done, because now I have all this experience now. I've done so many things. I've been vocalizing now, like I said, since for 30 years. It's like I probably should be good at it. And I was listening, and I was like, I sound better than I've ever sounded. And I'm not trying to like yell and scream all the time, like now I totally understand like the Maynard thing. Like you can't do that. You can't be up there yelling and screaming. You're 50 years old. It's like, plus his voice goes out. It's like, this is the closest to like regular rock music that I've ever made, and it wasn't in like a hard rock band, or a metal, like this is like this band could go anywhere, and that's the other part that's cool. Like it's not like they don't rock, they do, but they can also go down and like do mellower type stuff, or funk stuff, all different kinds of shit. You're like, there's unlimited possibilities because the musicians are good. You're like, hey, these guys are really good, and they're not just stuck on one style. So, who knows all this fucking music we can. Like I said, we play once a week, and we played. It'd be a stretch to say we've played 10 times, and we already have written 3 songs. That's pretty good. We have ideas for about 3 more. By the fall or winter, I said we could have 6, 8, 10 songs, and then we'd be ready to make an album and play out. That's not too bad, considering you only practice once a week. We're all older too, so we all have a lot of experience. And like this practice space being wired up like a studio helps a lot, because every practice it mixes it, even sends it to. So I sat and listened to everything we played, and you go, hey, there's a song there, and then I grab my notebook and I start writing the song. It's like. And my part of my brain that has been asleep for years is awakened now. I'm like, it's pretty cool. I forgot how much music meant to me. How much music has really saved my life. Ever since I was a kid, there was like an escape. When you want to get away. That's right. It's been really nice outside the last week, and I just been sitting on the porch with my little speaker, listening to music. Listening to our practice, and then listening to just regular music, just listening, just sitting there. And I haven't looked at the TV, and I haven't felt trapped inside the house, with my mom. It's like you just go out there, you turn the speaker on, the sky's blue, and the clouds are beautiful, it's 70 degrees or whatever, and you just sit on the porch swing and fucking, like I said, my mind just goes away and listening to music. Music just has always taken me somewhere. It's like a refuge. Turn it on and the world goes away. At least for a minute, or 4 minutes, or 6 minutes, or 10 minutes, depending on what band you like. Song lengths vary. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Listen, this thing that happened in Minnesota should tell you. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. If you got friends, hug them. Seriously, that's the other part. We've gotten away from that, like a fusion, really expressing your feelings for people, and everyone's living in this little bubble with their little screens and in their I'm saying this talking into a YouTube screen, but we got to get back to humanity. Like I said, hug your friends, hug your family, tell them you love them, because you really don't know, and your time is limited. You never know what's going to end. I got a song about it. Coming soon. Anyway, actually, I'm really proud of this band that I'm in right now. I'm so happy that it's happened, because I said I didn't expect it to happen. When something happens that you didn't expect to happen, that makes it even better. Because I was living in this fog of I lost my comedy career and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm doing, and then I came down here and do this because I'm like, I gotta do something, and I'm going crazy, so I started doing this. But this is not the same as making real art. And doing comedy is not the same as playing music, because when you play music, lots of different feelings come out. It's an energy that's created between you and the other musicians. And you can't recreate that in any way. It's like a drug. When you're in a band and the band locks in, and you create something, like you make a song, and everything's clicking, everything's on time, there's a feeling you get. It's a power that you can't, it's hard to explain it, and you can't recreate it any other way. Doing comedy gives you a rush, it's energy, but it's a different kind of thing, and it's your own thing, and you're all alone. And it's not loud. Well, I mean, I'm loud, but I'm saying it's not loud when a band is playing and there's drums playing. There's something primal about drums when drums start playing, and then especially like a rock guitar comes in. There's something powerful about that you can't recreate in any way. It's like a drug, only it's a very unique drug, and there's only one way to get it, and that's to create some music. My neighbor is in he's an older guy, but he plays drums in a band where they play a bunch of covers, and he's like, oh, what songs are you guys playing? And it's like, well, no, I was like, we don't play like that. It's like, I've never been in a cover band my entire life. I don't know what that's like. I've only been in bands that write their own music, that create music, of artists, And he was like, oh, wow. It's like, yeah, I don't have any interest in learning a bunch of cover songs. I just told you, I'm not a great singer anyway. I can't fucking learn a bunch of songs if you can't sing Queen or something. I'm not that good at it. At technically singing, I'm saying I do think I'm a pretty good vocalist, but it's like you gotta flip. It's like you either like what I'm doing or you don't. But it definitely ain't like Pavarotti or some shit. It's like, and I would never claim it to be. But I think personally, like I said, I've been listening to this stuff, and personally, I think that I sound better than I've ever sounded, and I definitely better at writing. I've been writing, my whole life, so at this point, I'm probably the best at it that I'll ever be, It's like, I mean, I guess you can still keep getting better all the time, but the songs that we've written so far, these are pretty good, It's like, I've gotten pretty good at writing songs. And the lyrics of songs are important to me, so there will always be some kind of lyrical message in every song that I write. Really, I think I don't think I've ever been any other way. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I've already been over time. I love you too, Julia, and thank you for being here all the time, and Costella as well. And I'm glad I got to see you guys the other night. I meant to tell you that, which I forgot the other night. I went to see my friend Charlie's band, and they were phenomenal. They were really, really fucking good. And I was like, holy shit! Like, these guys are really fucking good. Like, we gotta be fucking... like, I can't come out half-assed, you know. And we practiced, like, the day before, because the guitar player was going on vacation. We usually practice on Mondays, but he's going to be gone. So he's going to Reno, and he was like, well, I'm going to be gone, but I don't want to miss, you know, because now everybody's taking it serious. They're like, we don't want to miss it, because we missed a week before, because the bass player's kids got sick with some kind of sickness, and he didn't want to bring it to the practice space and make us all sick. And then I was like, I don't want to get sick and bring it home to my mom, you know. So we missed practice. And then, so he's like, we can't miss 2 weeks in a row. Let's practice on Friday. And I was like, okay. So we went and practiced on Friday. Well, he went out and bought a new amp. So he's using a new amp, and then it is turned around, so I was behind him, so I couldn't really hear it that well. And I was like, the practice itself was like, I don't think we sound too good. Like, I think it was terrible. You know, I don't know how good it was. Maybe we're backsliding already. Maybe, you know, all the things that you think. And I went and see my friend's band, and they were fucking great. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys are great. And I'm like, oh man, this is fuck, you know. And then he sent. Drummer he's like, well, instead of going out, because he was going to come out and meet me, but he didn't. And he was like, well, instead of coming out, I stayed on and mixed the practice. And so here it is, and he sends it to me, and I start listening to it. It was like, holy shit, it was phenomenal. It was really good. And his new guitar sounds so good. But I couldn't hear it because I was behind his amp. I'm going, holy shit, we're getting pretty fucking good, you know, already. It's like... And that fear went away. I was like, oh man. I was like, well, okay, we are good enough. It's like, we can't be. You can't come out and your friend's band that you used to be in a band with, his band's better than yours. Like, no, that can't happen. I mean, I'm not saying we have to be better than them, but we got to be as good. It's like, it's a, what do you call it? It's a rivalry. It's like, I love Charlie. I was so happy. I was like, I'm so happy for you. It's so good. It was like, his band was really good. It was like, damn, it's fucking good. But it's like, we gotta be as good as that at least. It's like, you can't come out and it's like, oh, I got a band. It's just, we're just all right, you know. It's like, no, we gotta be good as fuck. But you know me, I said, like, whenever I try to do something, you got to be the best you can. If you're shooting low, you're already fucking shooting yourself in the foot. All right, I got to get out of here. I'll be back on Saturday. I really will try to get Daniele to come on Saturday. I haven't talked to him since he got back from Italy. So I'll message him and, like I said, tell people you love them. Hug them. You know, however you want to display your affection for people, because like I said, time is limited. Tragedies happen all the time, and you don't want it to be the day that you didn't say you love that person, okay? And I love all you guys, and I'll be back on Saturday. Thank you for watching. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. Enjoy. I'll be back Saturday.